Hi, boys and girls, it's Jilly. It's Wednesday, so that means it's Art Day with Jilly. It's also Red Day at Bethlehem Children's School, so I'm wearing my red sweater and I have my red cardinals here. So if you can guess, we're going to learn to draw a cardinal and use our oil pastels and watercolor to make a cardinal on a tree painting. You'll need a pencil to start with because there's a part we might have to erase. First, you're going to make a cereal bowl shape. Are you ready? Start. Oh, and my paper is up and down. Sometimes we call it hot dog or vertical because we need some room for the trees. Start at the top and you're going down, 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 and then up. But you're going to stop when you get to that part. Then you're going down, 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 and stop. I'll show you what it looks like with my red marker. I started here and I went down, 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 and up, and I stopped. It's kind of like a half of a moon or maybe a slice of watermelon or kind of like a letter C. To make the cereal bowl, I'm going actually down, down. I'm going to skip and go out. Okay, next, the part that I left open, that's going to be the tail. This line comes down. And then you're almost making a triangle, but instead of a point, it's a little bit open. This line comes down, and then we're doing 3 bumps for the tail feather. 1, a 2, a 3. There's the tail. You might notice I left this open space on my bird body, which remember is a half circle or a cereal bowl tilted on its side. I'm going to make a leaf shape or an oval to make the wing. Here I go. There's the wing. Is it a little bit starting to look like a bird? Can you guess what we're going to do next? A cardinal has this very, very triangular top of his head. You can see it here, and he has a little bit of messy hair. The next thing we're going to make, I'll switch back to my pencil, is a triangle for this part of the cardinal. It's called his mask. It goes out and back. It doesn't have a very pointy triangle. It's kind of rounded. I'll use my black marker to show you that. Oh, hold the phone. Black marker down here. Here I go. It's like this. Out and in. Of course, he has a little black eye. It's just a circle. I'm using my permanent marker to color it in because oil pastels are kind of big and it's hard to do small things. I'm going to leave a little bit of white space so it looks like the light is shining in his eye. Okay, the next part of the cardinal is orange and it's his beak. Hold the phone. You need an orange marker. Okay, here's my pencil. And the beak starts just about where his mask is. It's also a triangle. It's going to come out and back. It's a smaller triangle than his mask. I'm going to use my orange permanent marker. You could use a marker or permanent if your mom and dad will let you, and outline it out and back. And then there's a line in the middle for the beak. His mouth is closed. Okay, boys and girls, cardinals have kind of messy hair. So you can really see it on this cardinal here, messy hair feathers. I'm going to do some zigzags, in, out, in, out, in, out, with my marker. Ready? In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. There's his messy hair. Next, I'm going to draw the tree. You might think I was going to do the legs, but I need to know where the tree is, and then his legs will be last. So I'm taking my pencil, and I think I might just go a little bit under his body and put my tree branch and follow that line. There's a tree branch. I might give it another branch. Out I go. Do you remember what letter it is when you're making a tree branch? That's right, it's the letter Y. Let's see. Shall I outline it with brown? Here I go. Dun, dun, dun. On that brown looks a little bit yellow, but that is okay because I'm going to use permanent marker, then oil pastel. Now, there goes that branch. I might decide that I would like a little bit of tree coming up. So I'll go up, stop at his tail, go up, and then I'll come down, stop again at his tail. I might decide that, you know what, I'm going to erase that. I don't quite like how that looks. I might like it to go out into a V. So here I go. Remember, no mistakes in art. Up, and then remember the V. Down, up. There's a branch. You can also add some leaves. You could do some football shapes with a little line in it. Anywhere you'd like. You don't have to make it like mine. Remember, it's your artwork. You can do it your way. Here I go. More leaf shapes. Because the leaves are starting to show a smidge around here. Okay, next, with my pencil comes his legs. One is going to go a little back this way and down. The next leg comes straight down. So I'll show you that with a little bit of black so it shows up. Ready? Out and down, and they have 3 little talons, feet. 1, 2, 3. Looks like he's holding on to the branch. Down goes the leg, and 1, 2, 3. There. That's my cardinal. Outline my trees again with my marker that looks like it's brown. You see brown, but it looks yellow on the page. No worries. We'll fix it with the oil pastel. And there we go. Next, I'm going to do the oil pastel, then the watercolor. Hi, boys and girls. Now here's my cardinal getting ready for some oil pastel. I'm going to start with red. And I'm going to try and stay inside the lines, but you don't have to color the whole thing so very carefully. I'm going to use a little bit of white, just a smidge in there, a little bit of white. And then I'm going to take my finger and blend. Then it gives a smoother color. And then I can keep the color right where I want it. There's his tail. Sometimes you might want to take just the smallest bit of black just to show the wing feathers. There I go. Just the smallest bit of black. And I'm smushing it in, blending just a little. Blending, blending, blending. Okay, I'm going to go back to my red and color and color and color. Color and color. I'm going to take my finger and do some blending. So you don't have to color the whole thing in. You can, remember we call it moving those colors with your fingers. go. Giving it a little more here. A little more here. Blending, blending, blending. This is the part where Connor says, or Hadley will say, when can we do our work? I miss you guys. Okay, now for the wing to really show up, I might want his wing a little darker. So here we go. This time I'm pushing really hard with my oil pastel, and I'm going to really make this wing dark red. That way it shows up from his body, and if you notice, there's a little bit of white right around here that shows where his wing ends and his body begins. Now, that crazy hair, you can do it any way you want. Remember I did some zigzags? The oil pastels are much more fun for making the Cardinal's crown. Now, be very careful when you use your oil pastel or your crayon and you're doing his mask. That black color is kind of powerful. You don't need a lot of it. And take your tiniest little finger and do some blending. There I go. And I might take my marker again and just go around and around and around so his eye shows up, and I might take my oil pastel and just go around like that. Remember, his beak is orange. There we go. So there's the Cardinal all colored in. Now comes my favorite part, the watercolor. You could use your oil pastels to do your tree branch, and you could even use your oil pastels to do your leaves if you wanted. You could take a little bit of dark green, and you could take a little bit of light green, and then make sure that your red finger is wiped off, because if you put that red finger in the green, it's going to turn a little brown. Let's see, I think it will be okay. There's some green. One leaf. I could do another leaf light green because they're just starting to get green. Could do this one light green. I could do this one light green. And then I could take my dark green, put some dark green in there. Ready? Here I go. Oh, I like how the dark green and the light green look together. That's pretty. Ah, boys and girls, look, Jilly forgot to wipe off her red finger. I don't know if you can see it, but that leaf got a little bit of red. That's okay. Am I going to cry? Goodness, no. Just use a greener finger over here. All right. Are you ready for the watercolor? I'm going to start with, let's see, I think I'm going to try a wash. Do you remember what a wash is? You take a little bit of water, put it on the paper. Can't see that, right? And I'll take my blue and rub, 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 rub. Rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. And I drop the color in, and can you see it spreading? The water only goes, the color only goes where the water is. Wash my brush of the blue. And I'll do some over here. Look, the color's spreading. Take a little more blue. Fill it in. Now say it's, let's think. What if it's, morning and there's a little bit of red in the sky? Let's see what happens if I put some red in with my blue. Actually, it turns a little purple, and it might even start to look like a sunset picture. You guys can decide how you want your sky to look. All right. Now, if you don't want to do a wash, you can always just take your blue paint and paint, paint, paint. Right now I'm painting in between the tree. Do you see how it's different if you're just painting? And I'll wash my brush, wash, wash. Do you see how pretty that water is? That's regular painting. This is a wash. Remember, plain water. A little bit of paint. Dot, dot, dot. Do you see the difference, boys and girls? This is kind of like a tie-dye, kind of lighter and spottier, and this is very thick paint. You can decide how you want it to look. Because I keep thinking of Hadley and Connor and Paigey saying, when do we get to do it? I'm going to pause the video, finish my painting, then I'll show it to you. Ready? Pause. Hi boys and girls, I'm almost done. I wanted to show you a couple things. We didn't really talk about the magic trick of watercolor and oil pastel. Do you remember that oil pastel and water are not friends? So the watercolor says, I'm going to cover you up. And the oil pastel says, oh no, you're not. Here I go. There is that green leaf down there. Do you see that green leaf? Do you think I can cover it up with my blue paint? Let's see. Rub, rub, rub. Dun, 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 dun. Magic. You cannot cover it up. Now, earlier in my painting, I discovered that I did not like it looking thick. So here's what I did. Do you see how down here it's a little thick? I took my paper towel and I blot, 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 blot. Just like that. Picked up some of the color. I didn't rub it. That would wreck your paper. Now, I'm going to put some water on it. Spread the blue out a little, and maybe I'm going to add a little green in. Let's see. What will that look like? Oh, I like that. That kind of reminds me of the earth. Here I go. Wash my brush before I went from blue to green. Dot, 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 dot. Get a little more water. Move the water around. Take a little blue. Now I'm just going crazy with the wash. That is my favorite way to paint with watercolors. Add a little blue. Yep, I really like that. Wash my brush. Oh wait, I didn't want blue. Okay, we'll put that blue on there. Wash my brush really well. Take a little green and there we go. I'm mixing my colors, mixing my colors. Okay, now I noticed that there's a spot here of sky and there's a spot here of sky. Let's see if that magic trick works. There's his tail. It's a very small spot. I put some plain water. I'm going to take a little green and see what happens. Can I cover up that tail? Nope. No matter what you do, the paint won't stay. Oil and water are not friends. Wash my brush. Take a little blue. Drip, 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 drip. Paint with plain water. Take a little green. Doop, 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 doop. Almost done, boys and girls. I have one thing left to do. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot that part of the sky. I think I want that to be mostly blue. Drip, drip. So, moms and dads, if you guys don't have watercolor paper, that's okay. You could use a thick paper or you could use regular paper. I like to tape it down before I start. I have tape on all of the edges. So when you take it off, it'll be a beautiful border. And while you're watercoloring, your paper doesn't buckle up. Okay, washing my brush for the very last thing. This time I don't want it very watery, so I'm rubbing and rubbing and taking some brown for my tree. Now, I'm going to just touch it to the paper towel so it's not very wet. I'm going to follow those. Remember my permanent marker that I thought was brown, but it wasn't? I'm following those lines and filling it in, avoiding the brown. Avoiding the blue. I'm putting it back in the brown and painting my branches, trying not to get it in my blue. Don't want those to mix. Right back in the brown paint. Here I go, painting my branches. Painting very carefully. I might even want to hold it on the king's crown. Here I go. There's that branch. Oh, I'm getting so close to my cardinal, but that's okay because oil pastel and watercolor don't mix, so I can't cover him up. Here I go, the very last step in my springtime cardinal painting is this brown branch. There we go. And there, boys and girls, is a cardinal in the springtime. Oops, it's dripping just a little bit. Thanks for painting with me. See you next time.